Okay, next section, completing the square. All right, so remember when you complete the square, you need to vacate this spot after the 6x. Okay, make sure there's a spot there. And then we're going to fill in this underneath. We're gonna fill in the perfect square first. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. And remember to add that number to both sides of the equal sign. And then 7 and 9, those add up to 16. So that's the equation we have to solve. Okay, rewrite the equation, move the equal sign over so there's a spot there. And the next line, set it up with this, with the parentheses and the square. We're going to fill in the 4 spots in order. Half of the middle number is 3. Middle number squared, the new number, should say the new number squared. 3 squared is 9. Add that to both sides. Add the numbers together, and then solve by taking square roots. So in this case, it would be square root on both sides. And you x plus 3 equals plus or minus 4. Then you subtract 3 from both sides, and x is negative 3 plus or minus 4. And then you have 2 answers. Negative 3 plus 4, which is 1. And negative 3 minus 4, which is negative 7. And then you can check it, right? Yeah. If you plug 1 in, it's 1 plus 6 equals 7. That's simple, right? If you plug negative 7 in, it's a little bit more because it's 49 minus 42 equals 7. And that's true also. So it works out. Okay. We have to complete the square. In this spot goes the expression. And in this spot is the number you need to complete the square. So x squared plus 20x, 20x. And then leave that open spot that we have to fill it in. And half of the 20 goes here, and this number squared goes there. It's 100. So we're going to put the expression there, and we're going to put 100 here. Solve this equation by completing the square. So we're going to vacate this area. In this case, you have to move the 3 to the other side. So x squared plus 6x equals negative 3. We're going to have a perfect square there. And fill these 3 spots. X plus 3. Remember that number inside the parentheses is half of that middle number. 3 squared is 9, so you add 9 to both sides. And 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay? Square root both sides, so we're going to square root this side and this one. Ooh, the square root of 6 is not reducible, so this is going to be an easy one. So you have x plus 3 equals plus or minus square root of 6. And to finish this, subtract 3 from both sides, and x is negative 3 plus or minus square root of 6. So negative 3 plus the square root of 6, negative 3 minus the square root of 6. Okay? Hopefully that's good. Now this one, same deal. We have to vacate this spot. We're solving by completing the square by adding 2 to both sides. X squared plus 4x equals 2. Oops, we don't want a number here. Okay, so let's complete the square inside the parentheses. We need x and then half of plus 4, which is plus 2. And the number you add to complete the square is this number squared, plus 4 and plus 4. And 4 plus 2 is 6. Well, deja vu, this seems simple. Oh, I'm missing a square in this. Okay, now we're going to square root both sides. Remember this plus or minus, and you get x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 6. It's nice you don't have to simplify that. Okay, and subtract 2 and x is -2 plus or minus 6. Oops, plus or minus square root of 6. So -2 plus the square root of 6, -2 minus the square root of 6. Okay? Let me make sure this chair's not in the way. Okay, we are solving by using the quadratic formula. So remember the quadratic formula, -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Should be quick and easy. Mr. Butcher, how are you doing?
How are you up to?
I'm just putting on a little show here. So the quadratic formula, a is 1, b is -4, c is 3. We're going to plug those numbers in. Can't pause, I'm going to keep going. I think I'm good.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, go stay here.
You sure?
No problem. Yeah,
You videotape?
I am. It's okay, I'm making it cute for the final exam review. All right, I'll talk to you later. That's Mr. Butcher, everyone, give it up. Okay, so remember the quadratic formula. As x is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we're plugging those numbers in. The hardest part about the quadratic formula is that discriminant b squared minus 4ac. Okay? We'll do that first. So b squared minus 4ac. We're going to put these numbers in. B is -4, a is 1, c is 3. So it looks like we have positive 16 minus 12, which is 4. Okay? That's the discriminant, positive 4. And remember, we have to take the square root of the discriminant so that when we plug it into the equation. So we're going to use the square root of 4, which is 2. So we're going to end up using this 2 in the equation. X is -b, and b is already negative, so we're going to use a positive 4, plus or minus 2, all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay? So x is 4 plus 2, which is 6 divided by 2, that's 3. X is 4 minus 2, which is 2, divided by 2, which is 1. So the two answers are 3 and 1. Okay, on the next one, we cannot use the quadratic formula until it equals 0. So we have to add 2x to both sides. And the equation we're going to work with is 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, we're looking for the values of x that make this true. If we graphed it, it would be the x values where it crosses the x-axis. But sometimes the answers are ugly, and in this case, the answers were nice. Okay? Let's start with b squared minus 4ac. B squared minus 4ac, where a is 3, b is 2, c is 5. So b squared is 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times 5. That looks like it's 4 minus 60, which is -56. That is definitely, it's definitely something you can simplify because it's the square root of -56. And 56, I need a little space. I'm going to go over here. The square root of 56. Remember, there's going to be an I, right? Because it's negative. 56 is 7 times 8. And 8 is 4 times 2. So if you have the square root of -56, you're going to have an I, because it's negative, a square root of 4, which is 2, and then this 2 and this 7 have to stay in the square root. So you're going to get 2i square root of 14. 2i square root of 14. 2i square root of 14. Okay, so now let's write down the answer. X is negative b, which is negative 2, plus or minus 2I square root of 14 all over 2 times a, where a is 3, so all over 6. Now, each one of these has something you can divide 2 by. You should do that. Like the answer is going to be negative 1 plus or minus I square root of 14 all over 3. Okay? And the way you get that is you put that 6 under both of these. So it's negative 2 over 6, that's where the 1/3 comes from, plus or minus 2I squared root of 14 over 6. And this 6 and that 2 reduce with a 3 in the bottom. Okay? That's where this comes from. When you have two things with the same denominator, you can use just one denominator. Okay? I can't answer further questions because you're on video. But I'm going to stop right here. We'll do the next problem, number 53, on the next video.